The 20-year reversal. How China and Japan's economies swapped positions between 2005 and 2025. Back in 2005, the world saw Japan as a stable, wealthy, and mature economy, while China was viewed as fast-growing, but still very much a developing country. But in the span of just 20 years, everything changed. From economic scale to industrial strength, from technological capability to demographic trends, China and Japan have moved in completely opposite directions. In this video, we'll break down 2005 versus 2025 and explain the full picture of this dramatic economic reversal. 1. Economic scale. The numbers tell the story. Let's start with the most decisive metric, GDP. GDP comparison. 2005. China, $2.26 trillion. Japan, $4.14 trillion, about 1.8 times China. 2025 forecast. China, $18 to $19 trillion. Japan, $4.2 to $4.5 trillion. China becomes 5 times larger than Japan. In 2005, Japan was still the world's number 2 economy. In 2025, China firmly holds second place, while Japan drops to 4th or even 5th. This is more than a change in ranking. It is a structural shift in economic power. 2. Industrial strength. Japan's decline, China's rise. Global manufacturing share. 2005, Japan 21%, China 8%. 2025, Japan 7%, China 33%. Industry by industry, the contrast becomes even sharper. 1. Shipbuilding. 2005, Japan number 1, China number 3. 2025, China takes 48%, Japan falls to 3%. 2. Consumer electronics. 2005, Panasonic, Sony, Sharp still dominant. 2025, Chinese brands lead many global markets. 3. Solar energy. 2005, Japan led the industry. 2025, China controls 80% of global production. 4. Automobiles. Japan remains strong in traditional cars. But in EVs, Chinese brands have surged, with BYD surpassing Toyota in several regional markets. In short, Japan has been pushed out of key sectors, while China has taken the lead in almost all major manufacturing areas. 3. Technology and innovation, a complete balance shift. 2005. Japan led in electronics, machinery, and materials. China was still catching up. 2025. China leads in AI, quantum communication, high-speed rail, supercomputing, and new energy. Japan struggles with an aging research workforce, limited investment, and slower innovation. The summary is simple. 2005, Japan ahead, China catching up. 2025, China advancing, Japan falling behind. 4. Demographics, the fundamental divide shaping the next 20 years. Population isn't just a statistic, it determines long-term economic potential. Japan, deep structural aging. Over 30% of the population above age 65. Shrinking workforce. A weak consumption. A rising medical and pension costs. A society locked into economic contraction. China, adjusting but still far larger and more dynamic. Massive urban economic zones. A fully integrated industrial ecosystem. Population decline is gradual, not sudden. Currently undergoing major structural upgrades. As a result, the economic gap is likely to continue expanding in the coming decade. 5. Why did China rise while Japan declined? Japan's challenges, structural and hard to reverse. Continuous population decline. Industrial offshoring. Weak innovation momentum. Chronic low demand. A long-term monetary easing undermining competitiveness. Japan's issue is not a recession. It is long-term structural stagnation. China's advantages, structural and systemic. The world's most complete manufacturing system. Massive domestic market. Fast infrastructure and policy execution. Strong technological absorption and scaling capacity. Major beneficiary of global industrial shifts. China faces growing pains, but its overall trajectory is still upward. 6. Conclusion. The end of one era, the beginning of another. In 2005, Japan was Asia's economic leader, and China was the challenger. By 2025, China is the world's #2 powerhouse, and Japan has fallen out of the top tier. Japan's once stable strengths have turned into structural constraints, while China's developing country label has transformed into the world's manufacturing and industrial center. And this gap will likely widen further in the 2030s.